So my FYP right now on TikTok is basically about trying to become successful as a content creator, and I'm just flooded with a lot of videos that are showing me tactics or showing me strategies and how to do that. And it's not the first time that had happened to me. um, but I haven't really found success in any of those kind of videos. So I really left felt as if that it something wrong with me, and something like I'm a failure every time I finish watching one of those videos. And it's definitely not their fault, and I'm sure they were successful using these type of strategies. You never know. But at the same time, I also have a lot of videos on my FYP that was basically saying about how many creators were successful by stealing other people's content. So that's that too. But that's not the whole point of this video. This video is me trying to tell you that it's okay not wanting to be successful, and not wanting to be ambitious, and not wanting to work all the time, and not wanting to learn all the time. I feel like this is one of the really hard thing to do when I was younger. I was so addicted to learning and knowledge. I was so greedy, and I was imprinted with this idea that you always have to be learning all the time. You always have to be improving all the time. And right now, I'm telling you, stop that. No, say no to those things. No. Well, that's my opening anyway. Hello, everyone. My name is Valourine. I'm here just to hang out with you guys, be a companion and be a friend, and I'm not really doing anything. I don't really do a lot of new contents here when it comes to things that I supposedly be motivational thinking. It's not like that. So I'm just here just hanging out, having a chatty videos, and also do some vlogs in Sydney if you want to come and check it out. I did a whole bunch of videos for vlogs last year though in 2024. So if you want to check it out, you can that too in the playlist. So this year, 2025, I'm just going to do a whole bunch of videos about what I'm thinking. So there is nothing pretty much structure wise that is pretty fixed. It's gonna be chatties, or it's gonna be vlogs or reviews. It's whatever I want. So welcome to my channel. Anyway, getting back to the topic. Yeah, I just want to say to you guys, no, don't do that. Don't get trapped into that idea that you need to do something. As a millennials, I feel like that was just the way we were brought up, that we have to become successful CEOs, especially like as women. And let me tell you, especially when if you guys are still like in your early 20s, I'm sure like you grew up with a very different mindset, because you grew up probably watching a lot of your adult people struggling financially. If you're in the US, you have like the global financial crisis. If you're in Australia, if you're in your 20s, in 2009, we had that recession here that happened a little bit. But even back then, I remember like suddenly $900 popped into my bank account by Kevin Rudd. If you don't know who that is, he used to be a prime minister during the recession era in Australia. And so that happened. And then comparing that period to 2020, when we had that recession and that COVID, it was very stark and very different the way it was handled. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that. Meaning like I just want to mention that because I feel like there are a lot of things that are outside your control. And I feel like we have been fed the illusion that we have the control over everything that in our life. We have some control over a few things, and one of the few things that we have control over is our mindset. And one of the few things that we have some control over is how we would like to spend our energy and our time. And those are just a few things that we can control. And I feel like I know this probably sound very counterindicative of what I am actually doing. I'm probably like right now, I'm hustling a lot more than I was probably last year. So this suggestion might be very hypocritical, but I'm standing by it. I'm standing by you should not you don't have to. I think that's the key point here. It's like you don't have to be ambitious. You don't have to be um, successful in terms of reaching to be like the most high CEO type of situation. And I know like Generation Z, Gen Z, or how do you say it? Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen Z. Gen Z is I've seen a lot of articles that basically saying Gen Z is shying away from managerial positions, and I have to say, good on you guys. If you are one of those generations, thank you. Like you guys are basically doing millennials so much favors. We are. I feel like I'm looking at you guys as a like okay, as a leader, basically. Like hello, yeah, we are following that because I feel like even though our generation, my generation, is in a we are coming as a large population. I feel like power wise, we are not. It's only a selected few that became really powerful, but a bunch of us are basically kind of felt like we were trapped in a perpetual adolescence. But of course, we gain a lot of experiences towards that because hustle and grinding don't really get you to many places. I feel like after a while, you realize that the system is rigged and you don't really you become successful if you know the right people, if you um, have the right connections, or if you have like a really great body, meaning like no, not that kind of like sexy body, no, like when you have like energy, you can run on 3 hours sleep and you can start your day at 5 a.m. and go to bed at 2 a.m., you know, that type of luck that some people have. If you have 21 hours at your disposal every day with the right energy, you also can become very successful. And, you know, unless that's just a gift that is being gifted to you. But I guess I'm saying, like, you don't have to do that. You can strive for a simpler life. You can strive for a long, lazy morning. You can strive for just having a good cup of coffee in the morning, have good meals, healthy meals. You can strive to be, have enough money so you can play with your pet and your kids so that you can have kids. Probably is probably a better way to kind of angle this talk, and that's okay because you don't always have to strive to make the world better. You don't have to strive to, because I feel like what people forget is that the world is consisting of individuals. So if you are happy, then you are helping the world to be better. If you are basically just want to take care of your community, for example, if you want to take care of your garden, and if you want to just help out at the local shelter, or you want to help out at the local nursing home, you are helping out the community, you are making the world better. It doesn't necessarily need for it to be, you know, you need to design a corporations where the corporation is making billions and billions of dollars, and from that money you're going to, you know, create a foundation, that a foundation is going to create research for cancer prevention and cancer cure. You know, I feel like as a millennial, we were taught, I guess, or influenced to have that kind of big dreams. And I'm sure like a lot of my peers have achieved that, a lot of it. But I feel like there are a lot more ordinary people and a lot more ordinary dreams that feels like sometimes is being looked down upon as what, you just want to be a stay-home mom, you just want to be like want to do part-time work, and then you just do your hobby, crocheting, knitting, and just staying in, like that sounds so lame. And I guess I'm just here, just wanted to tell you that it's not lame. It's not lame to want a quiet life. It's not lame to want to have a peaceful life. It's not lame just to be ordinary. Being ordinary is extraordinary, because I feel being ordinary is underrated, and a lot of people can't achieve that. Like someone like me is having very difficult time relaxing, for example, because I have been brainwashed into thinking if you're not doing anything, that means you are failing. And I think this hustle and grind culture is one of the reasons why my generation and the younger generations possibly have a lot of anxieties and depression issues because whatever we do, it never seems to be enough. It never seems to be um, accomplishing anything. So we have been gaslighted so much that we got to the point where I think we have to be selfish. We have to really dig down and to see what we really want. And that takes a lot of courage to do and to have. And I think it's okay to want a simpler life. It's okay to want just a 9 to 5. It's okay if you want to be a receptionist or an administration type of person where you just clock in and then you just exist for 8 hours a day and then clock out. That's okay. I think when I was younger, I looked at those people and I felt really like they are beneath me, which is, of course, very wrong. I was wrong. I was young and arrogant. And I remember like saying my ambitions really out loudly, and I should be ashamed of myself now, but I wasn't then, because that was what was taught, that we should be ambitious. Have to earn so many degrees, and then you have to apply that to the corporate ladder, and climb that ladder up to the directorial or managing director, or becoming a CEO of that company. That's the goal. But as I get older, maybe 20 years after that type of point of view, if I ever going to go back to a 9 to 5, I'm probably just gonna go back as an admin person, clocking in at 9 to 5, and as soon as it's 5 o'clock, you should be out of there. And the position definitely have changed a lot, like perspective wise. And I know like Gen Z is probably understand this as well. Like they understand that work is work. Work is just where you get money. It's not your whole identity. It's not who you are as a person, and it shouldn't be. And I feel like I think the culture is shifting now, and I feel we are going into the territory where I feel like sleeping in is the new luxury, and having lazy days where you just read is also a new luxury. And just like staring up at an empty space is just like the new luxury. Having time to just bake your own cookies and create and just cook your own meals and lazily doing that. I don't mean like lazily as if like you are lazy, but more in terms of you are taking your time, you're not in a rush. And I think that's really important, not rushing anything, because what is it that we are rushing? It's unless you are a medical professional where you are in surgery and you are in the emergency department. Yeah, you have to hurry and rush because someone's dying. But outside of that type of jobs, I think, especially if you're in corporate, I feel like everything is made up. It's not real. And we just need to ground ourselves a lot more. We don't need to rush. We don't need to be ambitious. You don't have to do all of that. It's okay for you just to be who you are, where you are right now. That's okay. As long as you're living up to your responsibility, I think you can do whatever you want, be as lazy as you want. Is this like an irresponsible advice? I feel like I'm becoming an irresponsible adult. I feel like, yeah, I feel like there was so much pressure on women, especially, to always be constantly doing something. And I feel like, no, your body is not supposed to be done that way. We are supposed to have men to do everything. Men supposed not supposed to be lazing around. Men is supposed to be doing all the work while we are resting most of the time. We can be doing all the thinking. We can't we but we don't have to be doing all the doing. Anyway, that's just my ramble for today. If you check out until the end of this video, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Just a reminder, ING Australia has 125 bonus cash for new customers. And if you want to know how to get that $125, you can check out the link in the description box below, and you can see all the steps that you need to take to get that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.